So, what we are doing tonight is we are going to be taking a practice LSAT test. I can't even remember what the fuck oh yeah, law school admission test is what the fucking LSAT means. A cursed streamer who is I don't really feel like naming him again, but he is. I don't want to like try to promote the guy, but a cursed streamer who's a pretty big character. Um, tried to like got in some stupid fight with a lawyer about some dumb shit, and like thought he could like do some like flex on like this lawyer that pissed him off by trying to take a sample LSAT test, and the sample test kicked his fucking ass. And so just to like mock him and just for the lulz to take a break from like super serious political content like I've been doing a lot on here, I figured tonight we might as well let's go take a practice LSAT test. And the thing is about cursed streamer is that he is an arrogant hot-headed fucking moronic fucking jackass. However, he's actually, or he is an arrogant, hot-headed fucking jackass. However, he is actually somewhat intelligent. And he is not a complete fucking moron. He has just been like going off the fucking deep end recently. And so I found this website, Kaplan. Let's see, can I just do this shit for free? Sweet, I can unlock your student discount. Fuck off. 12 questions. Yeah, Kaplan's 20-minute workout for the LSAT. Ready to train your brain? Start the 20-minute workout now. So, fuck it. Let's start this 20-minute fucking practice LSAT test. Let's see what kind of literary historian. William Shakespeare, a humble actor, could have written the love poetry attributed to him, but the dramas attributed to him evidence such insight into the minds of powerful rulers that they could have only been written by one who spent much time among them. I think that's a fucking ridiculous assumption, but Francis Bacon associated with rulers, but Shakespeare did not. That's actually like a passage that I'm a little weird. This is a little weird to me that this is on the fucking LSAT test, which I am pretty sure is this is a fucking law school entrance exam, right? Yeah. This quiz contains actual LSAT questions used with the permission of the Law School Admission Council, Box 2000, Newton, PA 18940. The copyright owner. LSAC does not review or endorse specific test preparation services. And inclusion of licensed LSAT questions within this work does not imply the review or endorsement of law services. I'm glad they have the disclaimer there, but still. Alright, so I'm very curious as to what the fuck this has to do with like law school, but this is a very odd first question I'm getting. Which one of the following logically follows? I mean, actually, this does make sense that it's on a fucking law school exam. However, it is like entrance exam. However, it is like how the fuck do I put this in words? I'm not sure. All right. So, yeah, so which of the following logically follows from the historian's claims? Part 46, section 2, question 2. So, from this thing, Bacon wrote the dramas attributed to Shakespeare, but could not have written the love poetry. Bacon wrote both the love poetry and dramas attributed to Shakespeare, Shakespeare wrote neither the love poetry nor the dramas attributed to him. One person could not have written both the love poetry and the dramas attributed to Shakespeare, or Shakespeare may have written the love poetry but did not write the dramas associated with attributed to him. And it's just still a little weird to me that I guess like this is like a logic question more than anything, but the thing they use to frame the like logic puzzle is just this weird. This caught me very off guard. A question about like alternative Shakespeare authorship theories, anti-Stratfordian history views in a law school entrance exam. It's just such a weird fucking reference this question makes. All right, so I think the answer that's correct is probably going to be this one. Shakespeare may have written the love poetry but did not write the dramas attributed to him, because like let's see what it says here. Literary historian William Shakespeare, a humble actor, could have written the love poetry attributed to him, but the dramas attributed to him and events such in I've only ever seen that word written. How the fuck do you pronounce that? And such insight into the minds of powerful rulers that they could only have been written by one who spent much time among them. Francis Bacon associated with rulers and Shakespeare did not. Yeah, I find that I'm getting too hung up on the fact that I think that that is a ridiculous fucking assumption, and now I'm starting to think to really like drill how your brain could think like as a lawyer or a judge if you're going to law school. Here's why I think I'm about to say that is the thing about the alternative authorship of Shakespeare really is not the fucking reason why the question's on here. It's a logic puzzle, because what you're supposed to like say what you're supposed to answer is which of the one of the following logically follows from the literary historian's claims. Based on this, a humble actor. So but what this is what the first answer is: Bacon wrote the dramas attributed to Shakespeare, but could not have written the love poetry. This statement asserts that Francis Bacon was the more likely author of the Shakespeare of the dramas associated to Shakespeare. However, it does not definitely the assertion is made by this apparent literary historian does not definitely deny that the does not definitely deny, does not like assertively deny that Shakespeare wrote the love poetry. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm fucking it up here. This statement by the hypothetical literary historian does not like expressly deny that Francis Bacon could have written the love poetry attributed to William Shakespeare. But most definitely but the statement asserts that he most likely wrote the dramas. However, the statement does not say that he could not have written the love poetry, so this is not the correct answer to this question. Bacon wrote both the love poetry and the dramas attributed to Shakespeare. Once again, the statement from the supposed literary historian doesn't actively assert that Bacon wrote the love poetry. Shakespeare wrote neither the love poetry nor the dramas attributed to him. Now, this is also a bad logical following to the statement in the question, as a result of, for the reason that this asserts that Shakespeare could have, in fact, written the love poetry. So that just makes us the incorrection right there. One person could not have written both the poetry and the dramas attributed to Shakespeare. So that could be correct, but one person could not have written both the love poetry and dramas attributed to Shakespeare. Now the statement doesn't really expressly assert that either, It's just saying that there's these dramas attributed to them. Their insight into the minds of powerful rulers is such that they could only that it could only have been written by fucking somebody who is like very associated with rulers, which Shakespeare was not. Sir Francis Bacon spent an enormous amount of time amongst very high class people. And then this one is the one that I think is probably the most correct answer, but I'm still torn between this answer and the previous answer. Shakespeare may have written the love poetry, but did not write the dramas attributed to him. You know what? I think that's probably the best answer because it says like William Shakespeare, humble actor, could have written the love poetry assigned to him. Like it still casts doubt on Shakespeare writing the love poetry, but outwardly just flat out denies that he wrote the dramas. Futurist. Artists in the next century will be supported largely by private patrons. Because these patrons will almost invariably be supporters of the social order, whatever it happens to be at the time. Art in the next century will rarely express social and political doctrines that are perceived to be subversive of that social order. Which of the following principles, if valid, provides the most support for the futurist inference? Now let's see here. Art patrons tend to not support artists whose art expresses social and political views that are in opposition to their own. I think that could work. Art patrons tend to be more interested in formal artistic problems than in the social and political issues of their time. That is in direct fucking contradiction to like what the futurist is asserting. Artists are prone to attack the contemporary artists are as prone to attack the contemporary social and political order in their work as they are to defend it. Artists tend to become more critical of contemporary social and political arrangements after they are freed of their dependency on private patrons. You see, the futurist doesn't really talk about that at all. Same with the futurism doesn't really. The futurist also really makes the implication that the artist is more likely to defend the contemporary social political order to please their fucking patrons. And then art patrons tend to oppose all social change except that initiated by artists. Nowhere does it's the first answer because none of the others are like really support the fucking none of these other principles support the fucking futurist statement at all. Art patrons tend to not support artists whose art expresses social and political views that are in opposition to their own. Example. Let's actually talk a little bit about an example of this. Notice how most of the like really like the richest people who make their living yapping about politics on the fucking internet are really conservative. And they often have like Dennis Prager has been some guy who's been yapping about conservative politics long before fucking YouTube and yeah, he gets the backing of all sorts of oil billionaires and shit, especially his new like his newer YouTube operation, fucking PragerU, which is a total fucking joke. Don't like their videos are bullshit. Gravel Institute I will like happily signal boost on my channel because the Gravel Institute is a very much needed answer to like PragerU's extremely like toxic yet really effective style of propaganda. Anyways, but yeah, these type and then like really rich country music artists that simp for super conservative governments and whatnot. It's just kind of like how court composers back in the like time of like Mozart and Bach had to just like write boring, stupid, shitty music that that's one thing that sucks about like classical era and baroque era music is like you're listening to this music that was literally ordered to be manufactured by the fucking hey intrusive how you doing. It was music that was literally ordered to be manufactured by like the king and the fucking church, and these like musicians who were very very fucking talented were being forced to work within those constraints. But anyways, yeah, those are examples of how, also like real life examples of how art patrons tend to not support artists whose art expresses social and political views that are in opposition to their own. That is generally the truth, and so this futurist statement is most supported by this principle. That's right. Hey, how you doing, Marty? Shit, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot that your like Twitch name was intrusive, but I remember you. It's been a while though. If you're getting two messages at once, that's a weird glitch that happens. It's happened even on like my streamer end occasionally. All right, so for anybody who just joined, what we're doing is we're taking an LSAT test to make fun of Destiny because it like he like got into a fight with some fucking lawyer and then took a practice LSAT test because he's a cocky douchebag. And then he took a practice LSAT test and it like kicked his ass really hard and he just like rage quit it and tried to play Minecraft and then people like made fun of him. So I'm seeing how well I can do on this fucking thing. And I don't think I'll do good, but these questions are actually significantly they're all like logic puzzles rather than like anything actually having to do with actual like law, which makes sense. Air traffic controllers and nuclear power plant operators are not allowed to work exceptionally long hours because to do so would jeopardize lives. Yet physicians in residency training are typically required to work 80-hour weeks. The aforementioned restrictions on working exceptionally long hours should also be applied to resident physicians since they too are engaged in a work of life or death nature. Yeah, I actually like really fucking agree with this. But that's not the point of the it's not the point of the LSAT test. What I got to answer here is which of the following is an assumption the argument depends on. Yeah, these have been like really the rhetoric has referenced like all sorts of shit, but you got to ignore the reference of the rhetoric and just like focus on the rhetoric that it's giving you itself. This is challenging, but I actually enjoy this because this is like one of the most enjoyable. These are some of the more enjoyable to figure out standardized test questions I've like done in my fucking life. Which of the following is an assumption that now sitting here and actually doing this for like the kind of shit for the entire fucking like however many hours long an LSAT test takes, it makes me want to gouge my eyeballs out at the thought of doing that. But anyways, which one of the following is an assumption the argument depends on? There is no indispensable aspect of residency training that requires resident physicians to work exceptionally long hours. Hmm. I don't really think that's an assumption that the argument depends on. Because the argument depends on the fact that people who work in nuclear power plant operators, operating shit like nuclear power plants and air traffic controllers are like telling planes where to go that are flying through like fucking clouds and shit. and like giving them information on like what's flying around in like areas of airspace and whatnot. And there are hundreds of lives that can possibly be killed if they fuck up. Like hundreds of people. So anyway, nuclear power plant operators, a bunch of them like get way too tired and like fuck up shit really bad. Oh, sorry, this is like my voice is way too loud. My voice was way too loud over the fucking microphone. I saw it jumping into the red, but yeah, nuclear power plant operators. You don't want to have like another fucking Chernobyl or some shit like that happen. And the argument hinges on let's read the rest of the answers. I don't think the first answer is correct. Resident physicians have a more direct effect on the lives of others than do air traffic controllers and nuclear power plant operators. No. The more hours one works in one week, the less satisfactorily one performs work. I get that actually could be an assumption that the argument relies on. And those who are not engaged in work that has life or death consequences should only sometimes be allowed to work exceptionally long hours. What? Why? That is definitely not the correct answer to this question. Some resident physicians would like to complete their residency training without working exceptionally long hours. I think the answer is this one. The more hours one works in a week, the less satisfactorily one performs the work. Because this argument is built upon this argument is really built upon the concept that these people that are doing life or death jobs, that their work is going to get like shittier. That their work is going to like get shittier the more like time, like a certain amount of time they have to do it. Roger Bacon, the 13th century scientist, is said to have made important discoveries in optics. He was an early advocate of hands on experimentation and, as a teacher, warned his students against relying uncritically on the opinions of authorities. Nevertheless, this did not stop Bacon himself from appealing to authority when it was expedient for his own argumentation. Thus, Bacon's work on optics should be generally disregarded in the view of the contradiction between his statements and his own behavior. The reasoning in this argument is flawed because the argument presumes, without providing justification, that authority opinion is often in. My apologies. It attacks Bacon's uncritical reliance on authority opinion, uses Bacon's remarks to his students as evidence of his opinions, ignores the fact that 13th century science may not hold up well today, and criticizes Bacon's character in order to question scientific findings. Yeah, his the last question is actually definitely the correct one, because it's saying that because Francis Bacon was a fucking hypocrite, that was a hypocrite about things involving authority, that thus his like scientific findings are like automatically to be called into question, and that is kind of flawed logic. 5 out of 12. The ability to access information via a computer is a tremendous resource for visually impaired people. Only a limited amount of printed information is accessible in braille, large type, or audio tape. But a person with the right hardware and software can access a large quantity of information. Fuck, I am like crossfaded and having trouble reading and having a bit of trouble reading this. Can access a large quantity of information from libraries and museums across the room, and can have the computer read the information aloud. The like white on black is actually easier on my eyes than it would be trying to like read black on white on the computer screen. The person with the right hardware and software can access a large quantity of information from libraries and museums around the world and can have the computer read the information aloud, display it in large type, or produce a braille version. Thus, visually impaired people can now access information from computers more easily than they can from most traditional sources. Which one of the following, if true, most strengthens the argument? Which of the following, if true, most strengthens the argument? Yeah, which of the following is true? Which of the following, if true, most strengthens the argument? I'm sorry. Computerized speech synthesizer is often less expensive than a complete library of audio tapes. Relatively easy to use computer systems that can read information aloud, display it in large type, or produce a braille version of it are widely available. Many visually impaired people perform that. So the second answer, I think that can like strengthen the argument, but that really doesn't have that much to do with the argument. Relatively easy to use computer systems that can read information aloud, display it in large type, or produce a braille version of it are widely available. Yeah, that strengthens that. If that's like true, assuming that's true, that's a piece of information that strengthens the argument like a lot. Actually, most visually impaired people, that weakens the argument. The third answer weakens the argument. That's definitely not it. Most visually impaired people who have access to information via computer also have the same access to this information via more traditional sources. The rate at which printed information is converted into formats easily accessible to visually impaired people will increase. That could I think it's definitely the second answer though. 6 out of 12 will be halfway through after I get this question done on this little practice quiz. Many physicists claim that quantum mechanics may ultimately be able to explain all fundamental phenomena and that therefore physical theory will soon be complete. However, every theory in the history of physics that was thought to be final eventually had to be rejected for failure to explain some new observation. For this reason, we can expect that quantum mechanics will not be the final theory. Which of the following arguments is most similar in its reasoning to the argument above? Only a few species of plants can now grow in very dry climates. Therefore, a few species of animals can live in those climates. Nah. Four companies have marketed a new food processing product, therefore a fifth company will not be able to market a similar product. Your sister is a very good chess player, but she has never won a chess tournament, therefore she will not win this one. A rare virus has infected a group of people a decade ago, therefore it will not reinfect the same population now. I don't think that's really that similar to the argument about quantum mechanics at all. Each team member has failed to live up to people's expectations. Therefore, the team will not live up to people's expectations. I think what it's most similar to the argument that follows the most that follows the most similar reasoning to the argument about physics is that four companies have marketed this new some new food processing product. Therefore, a fifth company will not be able to market a similar product. This is basically saying is this is these actually follow the same these follow like basically the same argument that Or wait. Yeah, I still think it's this one though, because this argument like says that or fuck. The argument about the fucking quantum mechanics basically says that like it's the argument that just because like for just because like this many things have produced one thing, therefore like a new thing will not be able to like produce another thing related to those things that's like an improvement on them. I don't know. I'm probably explaining this in like big fucking circles, but yeah, I think the second answer is actually probably I probably butchered that one, but now fuck it, whatever. That was a difficult question. Questions 7 through 9 are based on the following scenario. A reporter is trying to uncover the workings of a secret committee. The committee has 6 members: Gary, French, Gary, Xia, Irving, Magnets, and Lipinski, each of whom serves on at least one subcommittee. There are 3 subcommittees, each having 3 members about which the following is known. One of the committee members serves on all 3 subcommittees. French does not serve on any subcommittee with Gary, and Xia does not serve on any subcommittee with Irving. If French does not serve on any committee with Magnus, which one of the following? Oh fuck! I hate these logic puzzles. Which of the following must be true? This is probably gonna kick my ass. All right, so if French doesn't serve with Magnus or Gowrie on any subcommittees with Gowrie, so if she won't sit with 2 of them, it's highly unlikely that she definitely does not have like a seat on all 3 subcommittees. God damn it. Um. Shit. This is. I've always been fucked with by these types of weird logic puzzle questions. But yeah. So see, I will not serve on any subcommittees with Irving. French doesn't serve on any with Gary or Irving. Or French does not serve on a subcommittee with Gary or I'm just guessing on this one. Pinsky serves on every subcommittee on which French serves and every subcommittee on which Gary serves. Which of the following could be true? Serves on every subcommittee on which French serves and every subcommittee on which Yeah, I run them. Or you have pre-roll ads coming in if you're not subscribed, but shit. Yeah, no worries, Jeffy. What we're doing is we're making fun of that cursed streamer Destiny by taking the LSATs, because he was like being a cocky bastard and got in this argument with a lawyer and tried to like take the LSAT to be like, "Huh, anybody could like go to law school," and 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 this practice LSAT quiz kicked his fucking ass. And so I decided to do it myself to see how much it fucks with me. These types of logic puzzles screw with my fucking brain. I hate this shit. Fuck it, I'm just guessing on these. Blah blah blah. Same scenario. If Irving serves on every subcommittee on which Magnus serves, which of the following could be true? Magnus serves on all of the subcommittees. Irving serves on more than one subcommittee. If Irving serves on every subcommittee in which Magnus serves, based on the scenario at the top of the question. Yeah, this is question 9. I think it's that one. Question 10 out of 12 on this practice LSAT quiz. Cox, the customer counsel. Cox. The customer counsel did not provide sufficient justification for its action when it required that Derma 35 be recalled from the market. Crockett. I disagree. Derma 35 in fact causes inflammation, but in citing only the side effect of blemishes as the justification for his decision, the council rightly acknowledges that blemishes are a legitimate health concern. Cox and Crockett disagree over whether Derma 35 should remain on the market. The blemishes are sometimes caused by inflammation. I don't think that's what they disagree on. The council has based its decision on threat of inflammation or on the threat of blemishes. On whether or not, yeah, they disagree over whether the council gave an adequate reason for its decision to recall that thing. A psychologist says because of perceived social stigma against psychotherapy and because of age discrimination on the part of some professionals, some elderly people feel discouraged about trying to psychotherapy. They should not be, however, for many younger people have greatly benefited from it, and people in later night have certain advantages over the young, such as breadth of knowledge, emotional maturity, and interpersonal skills that contribute to the likelihood of a positive outcome. Which of the following most accurately expresses the main conclusion of the physiology of the psychologist's argument? Elderly people are better able to benefit from psychotherapy than young age. That's not the argument that Shrink's making. Elderly people should not be reluctant to undergo psychotherapy. Elderly people are less inclined to try psychotherapy than younger people. The characteristics associated with maturity are important factors in psychotherapy success. The psychologist is really making the argument there that elderly people shouldn't be reluctant to undergo psychotherapy. Psychologists, some people contend that children should never be reprimanded. Any criticism, let alone punishment, they say, harms children's self-esteem. Now remember, the question might like this view is laudable and it's challenging to believe that children should be punished whenever they misbehave, yet it gives a dangerous answer to the question of how often should punishment be inflicted. When parents never reprimand their children, they are in effect rewarding them for unacceptable behavior, and rewarded behavior tends to recur. Yeah, so that's a controversial question. Like, that's about a controversial thing, but the question actually has nothing to do with it. But the view that the children should never be reprimanded functions in the psychologist's argument as a statement of a position that the psychologist's argument is designed to discredit entirely, is designed to establish is true, is designed to establish is well intentioned. Claim has a serious flaw, though, is not without value. Claim is less reasonable than any other view mentioned. The answer is this one. The claim does have a serious flaw, although it is not completely without value. Oh, wow. I got a 66% of that. I don't know what the fuck percent you need to actually like pass the LSAT exam, but yeah, show me the fucking answers. What were the ones that I missed? Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw here, be sure to like and subscribe and go over to my Twitch channel for live broadcasts. If you would like to support future videos and live streams, go on over to my Patreon. I got links in the description below. Thanks again. Fuck. I can't speak right now. God damn it.